to throw on 4th and 18. He's given time. He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson. The catch of his life.
Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's your boy, Coach Lee. Happy 2024 to everybody out there. We're back at it like we're mad at it. Hopefully you didn't enjoy yourself too much last night. You're able to join us today to come to terms on starting the new year off right. But, man, appreciate you hanging out with your boys on the play call. I thought we forgot about you, didn't you? Hey, take a little bit of hiatus. Enjoy the holidays as well. But, hey, man, 2024 is here, and we are definitely in the place to be. So, man, we've got a great show for y'all lined up as always. First off, let's get the crew up in here today. My brother looked like I know he had fun last night, but hey, he's up here this afternoon, wherever it is in your time zone, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Let's get my brother up in here, Meta Wide.
Happy fucking New Year, everybody, man. Happy 2024 to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. And if we didn't mention you, Happy New Year's to you, man. Hey, man, first day of the year. And we on, man. Shit don't change, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the days and the numbers. What's going on with you, Coach?
I'm chilling, man. Your boy didn't go to bed till about 5 this morning.
I mean, I was probably about that stool, probably like 5-ish, you know what I'm saying? Didn't be woken up. I probably had like 3 hours of sleep. So, you know, but hey, that's what the celebrations of last night, bro. Hope everybody's safe first off, you know, and hey, you get to relax one more day, some of you guys, before it's back to reality.
Shout out to Bray and Bobby. First day of the year, and they already back here supporting you guys. Much appreciated as always.
What's going on with you guys? Shout out to everybody tuning into the mini live last night too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we too old for it too, Bobby. But sometimes it just happens that way. It's up kind of late.
I went to bed at 5. I didn't say that I was partying until 5. Fell asleep on the couch. Can't complain. But man, we got the third one up in here today. Shout out to our boy Willie Will. He out there at the JOB today. Appreciate you. But we got the Viggity Villain, aka today he's going by La Villain. It's the man, the Jiggity Jake. What's up, man?
My man
good afternoon.
Must have had some Italian. My man must have had some Italian casserole last night or something.
I like how aggressive Took was with it. Happy fucking New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It's always nice to have you here. And, yeah, starting out the new year right. Coach, you had me beat. I went to sleep at about 4:30. I didn't even mean to last that long. I was going to go to bed at 1. That didn't happen.
Do anything special last night?
I'm a showman nerd. I went over to buddy's house and played D&D.
I don't feel too bad. We was up playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles version of Monopoly.
Not bad.
Bye.
So definitely had a good time. But man, you know, it seemed we had a couple of people that kind of reached out, you know, trying to find out where we was at last week. But like I said, we had to take a little bit of a break. But you know, we back at it like we're mad at it as always. No, I got TP to watch the Vikings blunder once again. Yeah.
Hey, Bree. Before you go into that, we know the Vikings, you know, season didn't go as, you know, as they thought it would go. But overall, and we say this about a lot of teams that are probably in the bottom of the standings in the league, or probably not a good team. It's parity in the NFL now, and there's a lot of, you know, teams that go out there weekly and play competitive football. Just wasn't the Vikings night last night, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely some counterparts, you know, that they need, you know what I'm saying, to get into next season in mode. You lost your QB real early in the season, a guy that was putting up good numbers. And at the end of the day, just keep hope alive, man. For all the fans of teams that, you know, may have not been good or may have not been bad. Hey, man, it's reality. It sucks, but I get where you coming from, Bree, man. Blunder.
And shout out to Brady, man. We see you watching. Thank you for hanging out with us this new year.
Right,
Definitely appreciate the support. So, man, let's get right back into it. We are a little bit early today. Shout out to my brothers for being understanding. Two was like, let's get this show off early today.
There you
so
go.
Coach
Yeah.
watches Longhorns in peace. And that's what I'm talking about. Appreciate that, man.
All day. Definitely got to get that in, man. You know, if we here early, we can get early time in. Why not?
See, Bob says, I hate to hear the Saints won to give us hope and likely get blown out by the Falcons next week. DA keeps it going.
I mean, hey, you win the division when you have opportunities to not even say that because I'm not going to say teams rig games, but if you're a Saints fan right now, you have a bad record and you're right, like, you know, we shouldn't make the playoffs and all that. But I mean, it's football. You're gonna be happy next week. Y'all beat the Falcons and y'all in. It's gonna be a different complexion. And you can say, oh, we didn't deserve to win if you lose in a wild card game. But hey, take it for what it is. You're in the South NFC, where people say there's ample opportunity to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Your week's not over after like week 8 or week 9. You know, you're still able to play football to get in. And after that, not saying that the Saints will, but anything can happen, man. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. You're right. You're right. That's what we got here. We got they have to win, and Carolina has to beat the Bucs for us to get in.
Now that one right there, it's kind of tough.
Oh, I thought if they win, they get in. So that Carolina has to beat them. That ain't happening.
Because the Bucs technically still have the top spot.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough. But hey, be real with you. Baker's been playing okay. But Baker's the quarterback on Sunday. So kind of look that in probably like a 60-40 type of mood where Carolina probably can beat them, but probably not. Because you got Bryce Young on the other side. So, you know, somebody got to win. Hope for the sake, man, of New Orleans, you know, and the viewers that we have from New Orleans, that y'all come out victorious. I would love to see, and I would not like it to stop. I would like to see Dale and the guys on for a couple more episodes, man. We don't want this season to end early.
That part. So, Jay, got a question for you, sir.
Listening.
Which game? I know you are a huge Buckeye fan.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, which game are you the most intrigued about tonight in the college football playoff?
Let's see. Honestly, it's probably the Washington Texas game because this is where we're going to be able to see if the Pac-12 team's legit or not, and we get to see exactly what the SEC is getting in the Texas team. Because I'm not trying to be a hater, but I honestly think Michigan's going to get absolutely trampled. I'm not saying
you and a lot of people think that.
I'm not Mr. Buckeye. I'm just trying to be a little bit more of a realist about it. I think that they had a cupcake schedule. It's still college football. It's still tough. You still got to out-coach people. It's just Alabama's been through it. They got the battle scars of the SEC. They won their conference title. I think they're going to go in there and have a good time. And I think game of the year, even though the year just started, very well could be Washington and Texas.
Interesting take. I mean, yeah, definitely looking for Washington, Texas. One, because, you know, Texas, it's been a long time since title contention was even in the words of that university.
Yep.
Shout out to Texas. And like you said, Jake, and like you said, in regards to Washington, man, I mean, they've been rolling all year. People say the Pac-12, can they compete? Are they legit? We looked at the TV screen this year. Pac-12 probably one of the best conferences in football this year, despite everything that went on. Whoever was in the media airways, who wasn't, Washington's here for a reason. Now, we can say that the Pac-12 competition doesn't stiffen up with the SEC, you know, Big Ten. We can say all that. But this is a different team right here. They have legit
I do lightly find it interesting that you said what you said about the Pac-12 because I thought that the Pac-12 had possibly the least amount of parity because all we really saw was Oregon and Washington, I believe. Is that the same? That's the same conference, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's about the only bit of the Pac-12 we saw because
USC
and I will give you one thing is that there was plenty of parity because you did see teams like USC, UCLA, and those teams kind of trade back and forth and take their losses. But at the end of the day, we saw the two teams that came out on top, and Washington proved they belong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They definitely proved they belong. I say that from the standpoint of you've seen teams throughout the season ranked. A lot of teams in the Pac-12 were ranked. For a while, they had about 75% of the league ranked in the top 25. You know, and then stuff started to happen. And that happened. That's why I put the parity in. Because you got to play these matches in this conference. And like you said, like the USCs went on a slide. The Colorados went on a slide. But it wasn't only to the Oregons and the Washingtons. It was teams all over.
It was once conference play started is when you started seeing it.
So to the Michigan, though, Michigan, Alabama, man, hey, this has newspaper stars. Whatever you want to see is in this game right here. You have the franchise that's been holding it down for the last decade and a half, and you got the team that's just trying to get there. Always there. Well, not always there, but, you know, always in the top of the top. And like you said, Jake, strength of schedule and all that extra stuff plays part into why the season ends early for Michigan at times.
Yep.
But throughout all the scrutiny this season, they've been doing it all. Now they got to play a team that has just as much scrutiny as them, but in maybe a good way. The way the standards went and the way Alabama got in. So this is Jim Harbaugh. For me, this is Jim Harbaugh got to win this one, or he may have to find something else. Because how many times can Michigan go this route and then be taken off the road? It's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Now, this game does feature two of the best coaches, and I don't think they're here by accident. You know, Saban and Harbaugh, they do have the detractors out there. They're not, you know, you either love them or hate them. But again, they're not here by accident. Now, you got to think about something. For Alabama, this is, I think they've had 6 national championships in the last 14 years. But this will be the 5th time since 2010. It's about 194 games that they've been an underdog. And when they're the underdog, they're 3-1 in their role. You know, another crazy stat is Saban is 8-2 against number 1 ranked teams. So it's definitely in the favor for Alabama to knock Michigan off today.
It definitely got happen. It's crazy you mentioned underdog and Alabama in the same sentence, man. It never happens like that.
And Harbaugh is 2-7 in both games.
I just feel like the way that it's going this year, I'm gonna be real, man. I really like Michigan going to this game tonight. I really like Michigan going into this game tonight. Yes, I really like Michigan going to this game tonight. No discredit towards Alabama. No discredit towards Alabama. They got there. They did what they had to do. Strongest conference. They beat the juggernaut. Team that hasn't lost all year. But Michigan, this feels like something that can't end up in a loss in the BCS again. Like this season right here, out of all the seasons they've been there and lost, this can't be it. Because all that's happened and all that could possibly happen after this season, yeah, they got to end this with a championship at least.
And
I'm gonna go.
I can't hate on that one bit by Tuke because if we all remember right, we can definitely check the tape. Since week 1 of the college football season, Tuke has been rolling with Michigan and stayed on that wagon the entire year. So much respect for you to still stand by that.
Yeah, man, I guess in this sense, I hear people talk about, oh, can you root for two teams? No, you cannot root for two teams. Absolutely not. But when your team in BC's out and you're a sports realist, you got to pick these games out. Hey, I just like the story, man. I like the story more than the team. Everything that just happened from Harbaugh getting suspended to the coach intern, and then he's crying after the game, basically blessing and calling Jim Harbaugh God. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the QB on the team. He's a little bit shaky, all that. I just feel like it's meant for them to shut the haters up. I hope they can. I really hope they can.
What's up? He just gonna slide up in here. Announce yourself. What's up, brother?
What's good, people?
What's the word with it?
What's popping?
Ain't a damn thing. How was y'all New Year? Happy New Year, everybody. Say what?
Good.
I thought you was at the gig today.
Things happen.
Yeah, look, Will can't have me here and him not be here.
Yeah, that part.
He's a Jake whisperer.
He's like, not this motherfucker. He can't be on and me not on. Hold on.
Yeah. I gotta maintain my consistency, bro.
So what's your take?
I'm just trying to prove I have consistency.
That part. So what was the topic?
We're talking about the Michigan and Alabama game. Predictions.
SEC going SEC, man.
That's fair.
SEC,
now, just for the record, for those who are curious, I think the game is at
5:45
standard time. It's on ESPN, and the pick, according to ESPN, they got Michigan winning 24-21.
The quarterback play, I mean, obviously, we always say that quarterback play, right? But the quarterback play is going to be crazy here, important. We know what JJ can do. I've heard a lot of people really praise him. We've seen what he's able to do. We'll see what he's able to do against the SEC defense. And then also, what's his name? Milroe. Milroe, yeah. He started off bad this season, and then he picked it up. We don't know exactly what he is still, though. But he could show the world right here. This is what I mean. All he has to do is have a quiet game. He don't got to make every play for them. He just got to not lose them the game, and I think they can win the game. I think Michigan's defense is better, but Bama's Bama. Their defense is always gonna come to the party.
That part. That's fair.
Now, I had to gamble. If I had to bet, I'd pick Bama.
You pick Bama, okay. So
are we going for points here?
What happened?
So are we going for points here? Is this going towards our tally?
Nah.
Nah. As much as I would love it to.
You always got the playoffs to still catch up.
Hey, I had to ask. Hey, I don't think I did too terrible in the picks this week.
We shall see. We will reveal it on this show. Since we had no Monday night game.
No Monday night game.
So we got, let's see.
It's not even
Don't listen to Will, he's lying. Miro rush for 100 and throw for 250. Minimum 4 touchdowns. Wow, okay.
That's a Vince Young type game.
Can't trust anyone with a New England beanie.
Damn.
Said the Colts fan.
That's not the usual Southern accent. New guest. Never mind. That's Jay. Lewis he's off and running for the year. Now the night game. We got my beloved Longhorns against the Washington Huskies. Now, pretty interesting stat. I think Tuke had mentioned it earlier about Penix and his skill set that he has. So in 2 years at Washington, he's thrown for 8,859 yards and 64 touchdowns.
Pack life.
So he did transfer in from Indiana. So for his career, He's thrown for 13,056 yards and 93 touchdowns. Very impressive resume. And I think they're coming in as a third-ranked offense in the nation as far as points.
Yeah.
Now, if it don't have the marquee, it's not Michigan's Alabama, the two-story, institutions. It's UT against Washington. Washington is UT, however you want to say it. But I do think this is going to be, if you like offense, this is going to be the game for you. You got two prolific passers coming in. So we just looked at Penix's stats. And on the other side of the line, you got Ewers, who's a redshirt sophomore. He's the only one to beat Alabama this year. And he's 16-5 in 2 years as a starter in Austin. So far this year, he's thrown for 3,161 yards, 21 tubs, and he's completed nearly 71% of passes.
Yeah, man. You was just, man, hey. And earlier in the week, you know what I'm saying, you got the cameras flashing and lighting all over the Manning kid. That's one thing I would take into this game tonight, if I'm a Texas fan, is mentally, with everything like we mentioned, you know what I'm saying, with the Michigan shit, can he stay poised to win this football game for them?
He's in Manning's backyard.
Exactly. Can he do it? Texas, like I said earlier too, they haven't been in a minute. Washington, we've seen what they've done in BCSs, but this is not the same team. I like Washington tonight, and I fuck with some Texas, man, especially around this. It's great to see Texas playing reasonable, good football with cause. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just like Washington, man. I just like Washington to win this game. I see Penix in them, Maybe they're the team that maybe they're the Pac-12 team that gets slapped up in the national championship game. Because all these games ain't gonna be close. Somebody getting slapped at some point.
Yeah, we already saw one. We already saw one. Oh shit.
Beat down.
TCU'd.
Oh, did Jay go on his rant about that shit that's gonna piss me off?
Oh no.
We did that yesterday. I'm already over it. I got it all out then. I don't need to do it now.
We'll plant the seed.
He's trying. I ain't doing it. I got it all out yesterday. I had a good argument. I felt better after we talked about it, and we're good.
You need to just stream in more pillows. Stop making your problems other people's problems.
You ain't a problem.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, I just feel bad for both of those teams that played in that game. I feel bad for Georgia, and I feel bad for Florida State. Because at the end of the day, you can say what you want, 63-3. Florida State didn't do this. Florida State didn't do that. Like I said in the chat, at the end of the day, they both played for absolutely nothing yesterday. Nothing. And that's the reality that one of these teams, well, you won't say both because obviously FSU lost their QB. You ain't going to put a team in there that's going to lose like that, like they did the other night. But I feel bad for Georgia still, man. I feel bad for Georgia. Georgia should be in this situation right now, and they're not. So ultimately, they had to stand up, Jake. And you meant to your point, Jake, the players should play. The players should play. But Georgia is built differently. SEC schools are built differently where, you know what I'm saying, they're going to play games 1 through 14. We've seen that. Some guys, hey, I'm going to the draft. I'm not going to play.
Coach, I want to hear your stance.
But Georgia's not built like that. We know Georgia wasn't going to sit players. We kind of knew when Florida State didn't make the national playoff. We kind of knew what was going to happen. Sit players. They even talked about at one time not even playing in the bowl, but they couldn't do that because that cost money. They would have been fined a whole bunch of money. So they did what they could. Sat as many players as they could. Don't really care about it unless it's a national championship bid. And I respect that.
I will get to that comment, Bobby, but I want to, Coach, I want to hear how you feel about the players sitting for Florida.
So, from my understanding, quite a few of those players who sat are guys who are getting ready to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
From that aspect of it, it's a business decision. I totally get it. Case in point, Jalen Smith played in a meaningless bowl game.
Exactly.
Tore up his hip and severely altered his professional career. He's probably one of the biggest what could have been. Because the dude at that point in time was probably top 4, top of 5 pick in the draft that particular year at the linebacker position.
And he's one of many that this happened to.
Yeah. So from a business aspect, totally get it. You got millions of dollars on the line. Up until that point, you've essentially fulfilled 99.9% of your obligation to the university. Because guess what? At any given time, they can pull your scholarship. The coach that brought you in can leave. It's a business decision. So I get it.
I'd make a case that they've given 100% of back to their school already. The bowl game is an extra game. That's not on the schedule.
Right.
The bowl game is something that you get lucky. Like if y'all lucky enough to play in, then cool. But before that bowl game of your senior year or at the end of your eligibility, before that bowl game, you've done everything. You've given 100% to your school. It's already done. That's an extra. It's an exhibition game technically.
True.
So, yeah, I just wanted to hear what other people thought about that because I never have a problem with people sitting out. I used to. I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I definitely had a problem with that. And it's not even a shot. I grew up out of that.
Especially in like it's a meal. Like I said, if you're not playing in the college football playoff, it's fucking nothing. It's a bunch of a college way to get some extra dollars.
Right, it's a money grab. That's what I'm saying. Like sitting out of that game it doesn't mean anything because it's about money.
You want to pop a pot tart? You want to eat an edible pot tart? Go ahead.
it's like not fighting the money fight. I don't want to take that fight. It's just about money. I want real fights.
Right, exactly.
So you don't take the fight.
If I'm a junior declaring or a senior that's coming out, again, straight business decision for me. If I'm talking to my people and I'm projected to be this round and I'm looking at the potential dollars in the situation, I'm going to make the best interest for me and my family. We're talking about generational type money.
Right, exactly. I can set up my family for years, generations.
All for a fan to feel good about their team because I'm playing.
Right. Also, yeah. There's a lot of that goes on with that. But you can't say but when people meme that you got destroyed. Nah, that's not the thing. Nah, I mean, it's not about but it's just a fact. The whole team wasn't there.
I had no emotional attachment to that game. I was like, kind of played out like I thought it was. The unfortunate part of it is the guys from Florida State that had ball all year long, the number one quarterback gets in a situation where he his season's ended early, that affected from a negative standpoint their ability to play in this college football playoffs.
Yeah,
and I think they were already on the fence because they knew they were gonna have a situation at hand because you got an undefeated team playing in the Power 5 conference, but then they went out and had the showing against Louisville, and that killed any opportunity that they had to get into there. Because at the end of the day, college football playoffs, it's a money grab as well. They're looking for advertisements. They're looking for teams that travel, participation from the fans and whatnot. And other than Washington, because they're undefeated, deservedly should be in there. Alabama travels well, big fan base. Michigan travels well, big fan base. And we know about UT. So it's all about a money grab at that point in time. And I can't wait till next year when it expands to 12 teams so we have to talk about this anymore.
Also, Lewis, I get what you're saying, but that only applies to the players who sat out. Everyone else in their fan base, of course they're going to say that. Why wouldn't they? It makes sense. Every time the coach loses, you talk about who's injured or who's not playing. It's the same thing.
Shit, he been talking about that for like the last 4 or 5 years.
And also, Will, since that tangent just went on like crazy in the message group, I didn't even get to bring up the other thing I wanted to bring up. And it was about the transfer portal. And you said there's a lot of things that need to go. I was like, well, I didn't get the one thing that bothered me about it out. Am I the only one that thinks that the transfer portal should not be open for players to go into until after season's end? I don't like the fact that I'm going to use my quarterback for an example. Kyle McCord played all year at Ohio State. He entered the transfer portal after he had lost to Michigan, or after the team had lost to Michigan. It's not a one player, it's a team sport. Mm-hmm. He at Syracuse's bowl game is sitting on their sideline when he's still an Ohio State student and technically a football player for the team, but he's sitting on their sideline because he entered the portal. I think you should not be allowed to enter the portal until after season's end. I just think it's just a crazy thought to me that you could be on this team at one point in this season and literally within the next 2 weeks you're on a separate team. I don't like that. I think that the transfer portal should open at the end of the season.
So
Okay,
the
why?
traditionalist in me, I understand your point of that, but you got to look at the ramification that will cause. The transfer portal dates and deadlines and things like that, that all coincides with NIL. I mean the National Signing Day.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to do that, then you got to move a whole bunch of stuff to make that happen. But then you got to remember, it's the bowl season right now. Most of these kids in like 2 weeks are going to be in their new schools, and their football season just ended. So that's why they have to make those decisions at those dates that they have right now.
And also, on top of having to move all that, all the different things, different moving parts that have to be moved because of that one thing, I ask you, Jake, why? Why do you care? Like, it needs to be a legitimate reason. If it's just a pet peeve, that shit can go somewhere else.
No, it's not a pet peeve. It's just I don't
like it.
I get a little bit. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I agree with all takes. I agree with your take, Jake, on that, because to me, when I think team, I think of the mentality. For me, the quarterback, the starting QB, you have the right to transfer. Go ahead. But then you over here on the bench with the new team, it's like, was you really in it for us? Or was you just waiting for shit to go bad to say, oh, I'm going to transfer out now, and then now the salt is on the wound because you see this guy on the bench of his new team. So, real talk. I agree. And then I agree with you, Will. Who the fuck cares what they doing? And you fuck the shit up where you can be playing for the mighty Gopers, and then 20 minutes later, you can be playing for LeBron James' team. It all happens. It's just this the world we live in now. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, Jake, hey, I wish that I can leave my job and go to a better one and work in the next 5 minutes. I wish I could do that.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing I love about this, though. That's the other thing. This shit, when we talk about this type of shit, this shit never translates into these people's real life. Because, Jake, if you got a better job offer tomorrow, you would fucking leave mid-shift. You would leave mid-fucking shift, bro. If you got better hours and more pay, you would leave mid-shift. But suddenly, when it's a college kid, you're like, no, it's about the team. Like, stop.
Don't bring me into this.
Jay, I get what you're saying, Jake. I get what you're saying, Jake. And like Will said, if it's just a pet peeve, leave it in. Now, if you got some intakes to why this doesn't seem right for you, spit them out. And I think I took one of them right out your mouth. And that's just the mentality of the football team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with me too. If you're leaving and just like you said, like now I gotta look at you sideways when you left. Good, bye. I don't want you here anyway. If you got the balls to just be out.
And that's kind of what that turned. That's kind of what that turned into with Kyle McCord. I'm like, all right, dude, then fuck you. You didn't want the competition. They didn't promise you a starting spot next year. Fuck you. Bye. Competition makes everybody better. You want to go lose at Syracuse? By all means, go have fun.
They're trying to.
Anyway, hold on. Put Lewis's comment back up and leave it up here for the rest of the show. That is forever now Gandhi Watt.
Gandhi Watt. me and Coach playing tag, trying to put it back up.
You got it, man.
We tried to cook that shit like 3 different times. Like, yo, it's not working. We must be hitting it too. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, this is crazy. Me and Tukes getting along for an entire show. I'm not going to ruin it, but this is new start, new
Don't ruin
year,
it by
right?
mentioning it.
I was mentioning it. I'm waiting for him to disagree with one
don't
thing.
ruin it by mentioning it. 2, y'all don't fight as much as you think you do. I'm the one who fights with everybody.
Yes, I know you fight with me the most, but when me and Tuke go at it, we end up like it's straight up for 5 minutes like a freaking alley cats, and then we're back to being normal.
When you two go at it, me and Coach got to clean it up later.
Everybody Will is the low-key Resident Hill. He's just real soda with it.
Yeah. That's why when he names himself the villain, I'm like, I'm not in. I'm pretty sure I'm the villain here.
It may be a 2024 version of a villain. Similar to what we talk about in this era where you can just transfer schools in 2 minutes on Indeed and you got a fucking new school you're going to. Like
instead of it's love because I'm the proper villain now.
Fucking goodness.
I got the handlebar mustaches. I'm twirling it right now.
I appreciate that response. He said, "Fucking good." That's good.
Fucking good. Hey, but
exactly how
Bobby had an interesting point too, and it was more in regards to the actual expansion of the bowl. And I believe he was saying basically like, what will the organization, what would the NCAA do now in terms of now to expand the playoffs? Will we see less bowls? Will we see less teams? You have to get a minimum of like 6 games to win. Will we see that change? And what do you think? What we see change with this new expansion coming next year?
Here's my thing about whack bowls. I filed this in the same file as the last convo. Who the cares? Why do you care? Don't watch the game. It costs you nothing to pay it no mind. I don't understand. I'm not yelling at you, Bobby. You know we love you. This ain't directed at you, Bobby.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just mad.
Yeah, I'm yelling, just yelling at not anybody.
I'm expressing myself.
I'm yelling at the situation. Because, like, yo, look, who cares about the minor key muffler bowl? Just don't watch it. It's cool. Have a 6-6 bowl. Like, it's fine. 6-6 versus 6-6. I'm all in. I don't care.
I-95, 7-Eleven, 24/7 championship.
And here's the reason. Here's the reason, because you're yelling at me. I'm never coming back. Because here's the thing. You can never fix this problem unless you make a unified conference.
Yes.
You're never gonna fix this problem. Because look what just happened. I know their quarterback was injured and a bunch of players didn't play, but 63, they put up 63 on a team that was supposed to be in the Final Four. So, like, these matchups, they're gonna happen, man. We're gonna see a couple more blowouts.
I think the NCAA and all can go with not having all of them. I think certain ones should be labeled there, yeah, and all that. Absolutely. But these other games now with the expansion is gonna, if you wanted to throw some bowls away, kind of recoup yourself in cash flow. Because these games are going to be more important now. Like, the eyes will definitely be on the screen on these matches because they have importance. And I feel like maybe like 3 to 5 of these bowl games that happen now, the ones that we don't have to watch, they can easily be just erased. And nobody would care at the same time because you're getting more meaningful football games. And I know it's team spirit, college kids and college fans love to see these games. Shout out to you. But
I got an idea.
The expansion might just fuck this up for 6 and 6 teams a little bit.
So the expansion is to 12 playoff teams, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That is one under half of the top 25, correct?
Yep.
Take the next 12 and do an NIT tournament like college does. So take the next 12 in line, do an NIT. Bam, there you go. And then everything after that you can bowl out. Because nobody's gonna watch those bowls. Here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to get around to this point too. You got to keep the bowls because bowls are financial for the schools. Helpful for the schools. It's a big deal for them. So, and I don't actually, you know what? In case people aren't resonating with the school, fuck the school. That is venues. It's a venue game. I used to work at FMW. We've talked about it many times. We will take any extra venue at the building that we can take because that's extra money for the little guy, you know, for the little guys. Y'all working, you keep our hour flowing. The workers. So, like, Will for NCAA president, man, I would shake that world up. I tell you right now. Will Emmert
go straight to hell.
I don't even understand that. That's hard balls. Maybe you're behind it. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So NIT tournament, and then you got to keep the balls though. You got to keep those sites popping because people need that money, man. It like we look at it. If you in a city, like I think all of us are somewhat close to a city or whatever. We look at it as whatever. But like when you get to them rural areas and you get it like a place like Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin's a small town. Everybody knows that about Green Bay Packers and stuff like that. It's a small area that team's owned by the people. So it's a small area. So when you take those games away, you're hurting a community. There's a whole economy going on over there that they need that. So with that said, yeah, you got to keep the bowls. But I do agree there's too many. I remember when I was younger. That's why I always say Meineke Muffler Bowl, because that was a funny one to me. But there's even funnier ones. We should look that up one day. Matter of fact, I'll keep going. I'll be back.
You just got the Pop Top Bowl now. It was an edible Pop Top.
It's ridiculous. Edible Pop Top Bowl.
Edible Pop Top costume.
They had a whole box of Pop Tarts at the fucking game. He's a mascot. What are we doing?
I think it's just absolutely wild to me, the fact that next year you could possibly see Tulane going for a national championship.
It's wide open then.
I mean, in theory,
because they're in the AAC, right? AAC, right?
They're gonna be a 12 seed. They're gonna lose week.
I do believe that they would have been the 12th seed this year if I read everything correctly.
So I'm looking at just a quick snapshot. I was curious to how the expansion would work. So the first round for next year is on the campus games, and they're on December the 20th and December the 21st. Then the quarterfinal game is at the Fiesta Bowl on the 31st, then the Peach Bowl on the 1st, the Rose Bowl on the 1st, and the Sugar Bowl on the 1st. The semifinal games is January 9th and 10th, which is the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. And then the national championship game has been played January the 20th. That's 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, isn't it?
That's Super Bowl time. I think that's probably what they were aiming for, to line themselves up a little better.
Which goes back to what we spoke about earlier in the whole transfer portal. It's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
Because they figure if you're gonna be leaving anyway, why you need to be here to participate?
I'm saying, y'all ain't excited for the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl?
I'm excited for Zaxby's.
Hell no.
What about the famous Idaho Potato Bowl?
I like Idaho potatoes, but just not in a bowl. I like it right out the bag.
He said Liberty would have been in the playoffs this year if it had been 12 teams.
Damn.
Liberty hadn't really bought out since what? Eric Green was there?
Yo, from 1947 to 1955, there was a salad bowl in Phoenix.
Why would salad in Phoenix? That just don't make sense to me.
It does not, sir. It does not.
Wilson salad. And real quick, when we wrap up this segment, for those interested, tonight's game, 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, ESPN Sugar Bowl, and they picked Texas to win 42-35.
When's the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl?
You know what? One day, just like Barstool. Oh shit! One day, just like Barstool, we're gonna have the STWF Bowl.
There we go.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, and there'll be another
quick break,
and there'll be another podcast shitting on that bowl. So,
yeah,
we'll take a quick break. Be back about 15-20 seconds. Appreciate you hanging out with us. 2024 to start the year off right.
What away.
That was good with the people. It's Montreal McNeander, NFL linebacker for the Cleveland Browns and Grambling alumni. I had to come through today. Give a special shout out to my dudes over at STWF Media, the big brand, where you can talk sports with the other NFL players, fans in their Facebook community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get them boys a shout out. Go check out their page. And I promise you, man, you're gonna love everything that you hear and enjoy it.
Appreciate you hanging out with your boys at the Playcall Sheets. Happy 2024 to you. So, man, a lot of action happened this weekend in regards to the NFL Week 17. A lot of stuff went down. Internet blew up. A lot of venom was spewed across all types of things. Other than the obvious, what was the most shocking outcome this weekend?
Shocking. I don't know. I don't know if anything shocked me this week. Something shocked you guys? Housekeeping.
The housekeeping. I'll say one. Pittsburgh beating Seattle for me. In Seattle.
Yeah, but Pitt wins games they shouldn't and loses games that they should. But you're right. It is kind of, but still, I don't know. Pitt's weird. But yeah.
I think from a game standpoint, that also how tough New England hung with Buffalo. I did like that. And then probably something that I'll probably say I'm not surprised, but then I was kind of like, okay, it kind of seems about right. And that was the Denver benching Russ.
Well, that checks out considering it seems like they're gonna move him.
Yeah.
So they want to keep him healthy, I guess. But
I saw a lot of venom spewed in the whole situation. I will probably say I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I was surprised because it comes down to money, professionalism. But I don't like the fact that some people was trying to give Sean Payton a pass on it. I think he handled this whole situation poorly from the jump.
The Russ situation.
Payton's a whole ass bitch.
And the reason why I say that is two things. When he came in, it was too much internal stuff that was leaking out right off the bat. So you can lose as a coach, you can lose credibility unless the team felt the same way. You can lose some credibility in that locker room.
Yes, Giants versus Rams was crazy. I also think
it was a good game. That was a good game.
Cards versus Eagles was surprising.
Really?
Actually. The Cards keeping like that, the whole like really making it a game like that.
I wasn't surprised, man. Philly has been this year's version of what was that? The 2 years ago Vikings. Yep.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna say that shit. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Like they had a lot of close games, but yeah, still whether they're that good or not, you got to play better against the Cardinals. I know they're professionals.
Especially what you had on the line.
Yeah, that team's not that great. This year's version of the Cowboys.
See what happens when do you see what happens when Kyler Murray puts down the sticks?
I can't even hate. Kyler Murray looks pretty good, man.
That's why I told Will the other day, I'm like, even though I know the cap hit would be ridiculous after he explained it, I'm like, I still want the Patriots to trade for him.
They got to want to move him.
I don't think they're going to move him.
No, I wouldn't.
I think they're in a spot now where like the cap hit is still too big to move him this year, and also why? What pick did they have? They're what, the third or fourth pick?
You go third now.
Third.
You gonna move him for what? You're gonna move him for Penix or Drake May or McCarthy?
The unknown.
I don't know.
Well, if MHJ goes first, Patriots could move back for Kyler, and they take Caleb.
Do you want Marvin?
They got the fourth pick now.
How about do you want Marvin or not, you asshole?
Actually,
I
they've got
just
the
said
fourth
if Marvin
pick.
goes
Actually,
first.
they had the second pick.
And you don't want Caleb?
I don't know. I'm perplexed on him.
Me personally, I think Chicago's probably going to take Harrison Jr. first.
You think so?
I think so.
So you think they're going to stick with Fields now after what he's done recently?
I think after what he's done recently, they've already announced that Eberflus is coming back.
Yeah.
They also have like the 10th pick, so they got a top 10 pick as well. I think they're going to go product draft him another offensive weapon, and then with that 10th pick, get some more help at that offensive line.
Yeah, the way I see it is, if Fields still sucks next year, then you're just in line to get a quarterback from another good crop.
And you got some good crops. Like you said, you got some good crops coming out next year.
And obviously, you always take if you have a generational guy that you think is that type, like that good at quarterback, you take him. Even if you got one that you're not sure about, you take him. But here's the thing: I don't think there's a clear cut like people like Caleb, but we saw some things this year that made a lot of people think
armor.
Like he cannot play so far. I'm not saying he can't change that, but from what we've seen, he cannot play off schedule. I've said this before. When he's on schedule, he can play when the play breaks down. He can move. That's what he's good at. He got a good arm. He can move out the pocket. But when he's forced to stay in the pocket and forced to run the offense, run the system, he looked a lot less than we saw before. They have weapons there.
Showed that last year, and everybody used that blueprint this year on them.
To get this high.
And Will, Will, that point you made about the generational talent, It's proven every year. I mean, just in 2021, let's be real. The Bengals' needs did not show that they needed Jamar Chase, but they took him, and look what it did for him.
Wait, say
You
it
don't
again?
pass up on generational. You don't pass up on generational talents.
So which player you talking about?
I said your point on generational
Yeah.
talents. You don't pass them up. You draft them. I said if we're being realistic and looking at the Bengals in 2021, they did not need a receiver. They did not need Jamar Chase, but they took him because you couldn't pass up the generational talent.
He's not a generational talent receiver. He's good. He's not generational talent. They took him because of the relationship with him and Rodgers. I keep telling you this, and you don't want to listen to me.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But you're wrong. It's been talked about. People know this.
I am not.
if he's a generational talent, he would be the top receiver in the league right now with all the young receivers that we have. And
he's close.
Without his starting quarterback playing.
A generational talent wide receiver doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Moss destroyed whoever was out there.
A la Larry Fitzgerald. If you're a generational talent, it don't matter who's throwing you the ball.
Yeah, Larry was Larry with Kurt Warner or
quarterbacks.
or David Anderson. Like, it didn't matter. Yeah, shut up, Lewis. You wouldn't even know Caleb unless I told you about him. You don't even watch college football. Shut up.
I know I have a lot of Bears fans, and they are not on board with Caleb Williams. They say he looks a little soft, and he don't play well from behind. Now the interesting thing is, just me.
So weird. Such a weirdo.
I do think that the Bears take Harrison Jr. first and stick with Fields.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, the story side of it. I can
Ohio
see
State.
Washington taking Caleb Williams.
Oh, Caleb.
He's a local kid from there too. He's from the DC area.
That'd be that'd be a great fit for him, honestly.
They got a decent running game. They got a great offense coordinator. I think they retain Bieniemy, no matter who comes in as head coach.
Yeah, Fields looked a little better, but he's still trying to throw games away regularly. But I would like to see with Marvin Harrison. I would like to see give him 1 year out there, one more year out there. Marvin Harrison out there and DJ Moore.
And a new offensive coordinator.
Bieniemy is bad. He doesn't like Bieniemy.
Well, all I know is he left KC. And they look like shit. And Washington has pretty productive offense this year.
He's gonna say, hey, they put up the same numbers as last year.
So real quick, let's look at some what's up, Daryl? We see you out there. Appreciate you hopping in with us, man.
What up, Daryl? Happy New Year, bro.
He's a Washington fan, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Hey, and it's at some points in the year, Sam Howell didn't look so bad.
Yeah, but for most of the year, he did look bad. But it's also Sam Howell, so it doesn't mean that anything about Bieniemy, because you can't fix.
I just want Scary Terry to have another chance to show he's a great receiver.
I think everyone should know that already. But yes, I just want him to have a good career. But yeah, everyone knows him and Dotson. Dotson's fun to watch too. So,
dude, they have one of the funnest receiver cores to watch. They really do.
Him, Dotson, and fucking Samuel. Fun.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Let me see. Fitzgerald had the likes of John Skelton, Sean King, Kevin Cobb throwing him the ball. He had about 20 touchdowns from them.
Who do you? I really want to know. I wonder who Larry Fitzgerald had the most fun playing with. Was it
probably
Kurt
Warner or
Carson Palmer?
I think Kurt Warner.
Easily Kurt.
Got him to the Super Bowl.
How did you fix your face to ask that question?
Kurt got him to the bowl, but that was for a season. He had Palmer for 2 years, and they were contending very, very well.
Contending and getting there, two different things, though.
Yeah, Kurt, definitely the guy he would choose. Also, Carson wasn't the same once he got there.
No, but they were still getting to. I think they got to a conference championship once.
Yeah, off of the strength of that.
You're right. But you're right. They didn't get to the bowl, which is still.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ride with the guy who gets me to the promised land.
And they could have had that bowl without that crazy pick. But you know what? The Steelers were just a better team that day. That was a great Super Bowl.
Daryl, I agree with you on that. When I saw Flores and McDaniel as possible head coaching candidates for New England, I was like, why is McDaniel keep getting these chances? He's terrible as a head coach.
He needs to just go. He needs to start at the high school level and just start back over.
Rough, man.
This man is young enough to where he can start back off to learn how to coach kids that have a bright future to where he's not ruining professional lives right now.
Is it his inability to connect with his team and his players specifically?
Absolutely.
I just don't think he's a very good coach.
He does not know how to make connections. This man is not a connecting type of coach. He is good with his specific group, his quarterbacks. That is it. That's the only thing he's good at. But when it comes to a team thing and trying to bring them together, he walks into a freaking locker room, we won, and then walks out. Okay, you get the I don't know who their interim coach is right now. The way he goes and freaks out, this is a team. We're seeing the Raiders as a team right now. It's crazy.
It's Pierce.
He just needs to be hired as the head coach. I'm sorry. I'll be compulsive about that decision.
Who? Needs to be
Pierce.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. That's type of coach. Like, look, I had this conversation with Josh Orson in the chat the other day, and he doesn't like the rah-rah coaches, the coaches that are more motivational than they are X's and O's. They still know X's and O's, but their go-to move is the motivational guy. The motivational guy I like, except that doesn't last long unless you're winning.
I get that. Oh, no, wait, you debunked what I was going to say. I was about to say, well, you look at Dan Campbell. They've just been on the rise. Each year that he's been there, Detroit's gotten better and better.
Yeah, and it'll continue that way if they keep winning. But if they were to pump out like a 8-8 or 8-7 or whatever season next year, 8-9 season next year or whatever, that shit won't fly anymore. No one listens to a guy screaming when you're losing.
Yeah, well, that's literally what happened to Fat Boy up in New York after Sanchez butt fumbled. His career went straight to shit after that.
Yeah, except he's not a rah-rah motivational guy. He does that too, but he's also an X's and O's guy defensively. Rex Ryan was legit defensively.
I'm not saying this because I'm a homer, but probably the master of being able, because sometimes you got to be the rah-rah guy, and sometimes you got to be X and O guy. And I think that's what was the greatness of Jimmy Johnson. He was a psychology major. He can do both. He understood
knew the game, but he can get guys going. Look, he got us going. My man's 80 something, whatever he is. He got us going during a fucking I was hyped during that award ceremony. I'm like, yo, and also like right before you go, you knew he was going to end it with how about the Cowboys, and then just even though you knew it was coming, it was still lit. Yeah, that dude know how he got me hyped on my couch. Imagine if you were in the locker room with him.
Yeah, the fact that he did that standing right next to Michael Irvin too made it so much better.
Daryl, I would say Andy Reid's more X's and O's. He might be able to motivate.
More X's and O's.
He might definitely have some motivation on him, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's the same as that like Rex Ryan type of guy we're talking. Well, not even Rex. I said that too. He's not like Dan Campbell. He's not like. What would you put? I think Tomlin's a motivator, but he's a different type of motivation. He's like a Zen master.
And then you got guys that are just absolutely way too quiet. And I'm not throwing a shot here, but let's be real. Mike McCarthy's not a rah-rah guy or anything. He's kind of. He's kind of just he's kind of what's the word I'm thinking of here? He's kind of he's no soulless. He doesn't do anything.
It's no nonsense.
Sits there, stone faced, and I don't know how you deal.
I would definitely agree with that.
To be honest with you,
I'm not a big McCarthy fan at all.
I'm excited.
I will probably say I'll agree with you 100% on that. The energy from that team comes from the defense, and it comes from that defensive coordinator.
And your defensive coordinator needs to be your goddamn head coach.
I don't know about that.
Wait, which team?
Dan Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Quinn needs to be the head coach.
He's a chubby Jason Garrett. Minus the clapping. Lot less clapping. lot less clapping. But you're right. He is Jason Garrett, but big.
So, well, we're already on the subject. Let's trick it up a little bit. Let's talk about the obvious. What do you guys think about the play Saturday night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the refs fucked up.
They did.
Here come. All right.
Refs fucked up.
I'm waiting for it. I don't know why, but I felt like the take Will was going to have is it happened. Move on. Shut up. Stop complaining.
I mean,
That's what I honestly thought he was about to
It
say.
did happen. No, it
It
is
did
what
happen.
it is.
They
They
got
missed
robbed.
calls all night.
All night. Both sides more. I mean, the Lions
Yeah, I
one,
see-
that's
I-
pretty egregious.
They missed that one.
I watched 2 horrible.
Nah, like Lewis. So I don't know if you watched the replay. I don't know if you watched the replay, but they kept showing it. They would not stop showing it on ESPN. What happened is you're right. He did not actually talk to 70. But when 70 was running in, and also 70 had declared multiple times in this game, when 70 came running in, he was staring directly at 70, but 68 was talking to him, telling him, I'm checking in. I'm eligible. He was trying to tell him that, and he kind of just said yes and moved on. Yeah, again, he said he talked to 70. He said he heard. He said, I didn't see that he said he talked to him. But yeah, he might have said that. If he said that, then that's fucked up as well. That makes it even worse. But yeah, he said that he said that 70 said.
But here's my
He was
thing
checking
though.
in.
That was a dead ball moment, right?
Yeah.
They announced it over the PA that number 70 was an eligible receiver. Why didn't they? He could have easily pulled the line judge over to the side or something and said, hey, are we sure we got this right before they ran that play? But
Bobby,
what'd he say?
yell at them, Will. He's like, tell them it happened and don't watch it. They don't like it. I have feelings too. Oh, yeah, that's the other part too. I don't know that basically saying that like they over the intercom, like that's not really their job to fix that. That's got to be them. I mean, maybe they should have called it to their attention, but yeah, still the NFL blew it. But here's the other thing that I will say, more in line with the response that Jake expected from me.
Pretty much.
You still had 2 other chances to score. Now, that doesn't take away from them blowing it, but you did have 2 more.
Look, I'm not trying to sound like freaking Colin Cowherd right now, but it's like you also tried a trick play 2 times back to back. If it doesn't work and the flag gets thrown and all this dumb shit happens, no, 3 times. My bad. Yes, kick the field goal and go into OT.
Well, I don't know if any of those plays were trick plays, but
the one to the lineman, that you throw a lineman a ball, it's a trick play no matter what. I'm sorry.
No, it's a misdirection.
I'm looking at it 2-sided. Obviously, as a Cowboy fan, I'm like, F it. It is what it is. We done lost on some controversial calls this year. It was our time to get some BS in our favor. Second thing is, never should have been in that situation in the first place. The missed tripping call on the first down under 2 minutes, all they had to do at that point in time is kneel the ball down 3 times, kick the field goal. So they would never even have been in that situation. But they called tripping on Hendershot when in the actuality, it was on Hutchinson. So like I said at the beginning of this segment, those refs missed. They were terrible Saturday. They missed a bunch of stuff. And the fact that it's come out that they probably won't even work the playoffs, deservedly so.
Yeah, Lewis dropping facts. He did almost have Goff. Goff missed one. It sucked because he had him. Although they make it seem like it's clear cut, I do think it would have been still a tackle at the line, possibly. He might have got in. But yeah, he had it, and it was a bad throw. Didn't they get downgraded?
They did. So they're not participating in the playoffs, I believe.
Who?
That crew.
The crew. Yeah, second time. They messed up before too. They messed up big.
Oh yeah, it was literally the very next day. I was having breakfast with my dad, and we were looking at the TV, and I started scrolling through Facebook, and it said Brad Allen. I think it was Brad Allen's crew. It said they have been disqualified from any playoff games because of the call. So they are not allowed to coach. They are not allowed to officiate any playoff game this year.
Short of reversing the ruling, which you can't because there was more time. We don't know what happened, so you gotta just stick with what happened. Short of that, that's the best the league can do is punish that crew. I think they did the right thing.
They did.
Now that wasn't No, I ain't going into that. I'll talk to you guys about it in the message group. But yeah, no, if I had to, do I think this is an egregious call or do I think that this is a miss? I think it was definitely, it was a miss, egregious. Look, people are human. Shit happens. You miss stuff. People hold every play, and it never gets called except if it's like blatant. So
Look,
I'm on the part of it sucks. The Lions got screwed over, but what can you do? Move on and be better from it.
Oh, I agree with all that, but the ref needs to own it. He came out and was just
100%. Because he lied. He straight up lied.
Well, I don't think he lied. I think he just I guess he could have lied if he said I talked to the guy. I think he just made a mistake. I think he heard somebody saying something, and though he was staring at the man that he thought was saying it, who wasn't saying it, I just think I think in the heat of all of it, he clearly thought that because if you watch his actions after, he then runs to the line, tells them, and then also you hear it over the PA. So it was like obviously he thought that's what happened. But like it wasn't what happened. So when they ask you about it, say that shit. Like, all right, kind of blew it.
It was a very, very bad weekend of officiating, in my opinion, and it's tough to say because I saw what was it? It was trying to think what's that called? Intentional grounding on Jake Browning in that Bengals Chiefs game, and it was not intentional grounding. It was a bullshit call. But like I said, at the end of the day, you got to remember refs are human just like us. They make mistakes. They don't see the stuff we do. We don't even see the angles they're looking when they see it. They might think they see something different that way. So yes, I honestly am tired of being pissed off at refs about things happening unless it's blatant. That happened to be blatant, but it was also, fuck it, it's a mistake.
No one's denying that. We all I think we all unanimously agree that shit happens, but just you gotta own it is what I'm saying. Also, I think the ref can't admit fault there. If he said, "Oh, I fucked up," the NFL would have some cleaning to do. What more cleaning could they do? If he said he fucked up, then they downgrade the group, which they already did. There's no more that you can do by him admitting it.
Yeah,
there's nothing more. Like you say, maybe if he says I admit it, maybe individually he gets fucked over. But I don't know what other cleaning would they have to do. There's nothing really. They did it.
I agree with Lewis on that. Yeah, if he said he messed up, it'd be way too much damage control that would be needed.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What other damage control?
You can't.
I feel like they did everything they could do regardless.
Yeah. Short of just saying you're no longer a referee in this league.
This one guy, bye. That'd be the only other cleaning. And I guess that could create problems because then what? Are you going to fire every guy who? No, I don't think you fire him because if you fire the one guy who is honest about what he did, then no one's ever going to be honest about what they did again. So I don't even think they can fire him. You just got to downgrade the crew.
Bobby says I only get mad at bad calls nowadays when they cost me money.
That's fair.
Daryl says, do we say the same thing to the bank teller when she heard you say deposit 100 and they deposit 1,000 into a different account?
Well, it's a little different. There's receipts for all that.
Dude, I just literally tried to go off on the whole spiel a minute ago and didn't even realize I was muted. I literally talked for 2 minutes and felt like I was getting cut off, and I'm like, Coach, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh, I'm muted. Never mind. But no, after that play the next morning, right? I was rolling through Twitter, and Brad Allen, I think his name's Brad Allen. I'm fucking that up probably. But they said that they kept putting a picture of him next to a picture of that NBA ref that's not allowed to ref anymore because of the betting scandal. I forgot his name, Tim something. I'm like, I don't think it was that bad. I'm like, I don't think he purposely did that. People are trying to say that he purposely did that and that he made that call because of some scandal. I'm like,
People are always going to do that.
It's just because it's the Cowboys and it's this, it's that. It's like, no, I don't think it's that deep.
See, and that's the great segue right there, Daryl.
Yeah.
This is why I laughed my ass off at the whole situation this weekend, because I was like, it was obvious of the homers of the Cowboy fans and the hate for no reason of the anti-Cowboy fans. That shit was apparent this weekend. I thought it was quite comical. I laughed all day Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
But it's
about the shield, though.
Yeah. That's
Because if you that can snowball quickly. And then guess what? Somebody get upset and they start telling inner secrets.
See, that's
about
the thing. I don't think people realize like people can't run their mouth. The players can't run their mouths because the NFL got all the receipts. They got the investigators. They know all the stories, and they can bury or bring to light anything.
Yep.
And so I feel like that's how it's real Illuminati-ish. Where you just like, or something that we all actually, maybe we don't all believe in Illuminati. It's very what's the religion? Scientology shit. Like they hold the secrets, so you can't get out. Like you can't fuck around.
Yep. We own you.
And it's no secret because whenever somebody's trying to speak up about how fucked up the NFL is behind the scenes, suddenly that person's gone insane, or they're crazy, or they end up in jail, or like end up somewhere else, or get discredited completely. So,
i.e., Tom Cruise.
Yeah, well, Tom is a fucking maniac because he's been in that way too long. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think this would have been a way bigger. Could you imagine what this deal would have been if, like, how this all would have played out if the Cowboys were on the cusp of maybe making the playoffs and they got that win, or vice versa, the Lions almost were in but not yet and got that loss? I think the story would have been crazy big. But for now, it wasn't like that. It didn't really mean anything to either team too much. Maybe you guys a little more, but
I think it kind of got laid to rest after Philly lost yesterday. After they lost, it solidified San Francisco as the number 1 seed. So Detroit was moved at that point.
Yeah.
And either a Philly loss or a Dallas win and determines, the NFC East champion. So that just them losing to Arizona yesterday just kind of killed all the noise in regards to that from a seeding standpoint.
yeah,
They are
number 2.
Now I bet Coach is happy as hell about. Wait, hold on. Wait, does that make you a top seed, or is Dallas still in the wild card?
No, they won the division.
Right now, the number 2 seed right now.
Oh,
they're the number 2 seed. Say again.
Are they tied top of the division, or they're winning it?
They're tied, but they got the tiebreaker. So if they beat Washington next week, they win the division outright, no matter what Philly does.
Okay.
Because Philly lost because the only tiebreaker that Philly had at that point was they had a better conference record, and they went out the window with the Arizona loss yesterday. And also them being in the number 2 spot helps them to avoid San Francisco a lot sooner. So
yeah, I know that makes you happy.
Well, not really.
Not Took.
Not really.
Took wants to slay the demon.
Yeah. You gotta be, because
to be
you
the
gotta
man,
show that you can beat. There you go, right there.
See, you say that, but if you get the ring without going through San Fran, I bet you won't be talking about it's tainted. Well, you couldn't get there without beating the Niners. You'd be like, so what? Count the rings.
That's true. It's been so long. I'll be in that neighborhood as well. Like, fuck it, a dub is a dub. If somebody can do us a favor and knock them out early, so be it.
I can see a nice ass coach being like, "The fuck you say? I don't care. I can't hear what losers say."
Nah.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something? No, wait, hold on. I'll wait till you're off the Cowboys stance. Go ahead, go.
No, I'm just saying, for me, I'll probably be the same way I was back in college when they was winning. I was, my team won. That was it. I wasn't in your face type of. No, that ain't me. That's not my style. I'm a fan I played the game. Act like I've been there before.
I did that for
that was the best part. That was the best part about the Rangers winning. I was like, damn, Coach is about to go the fuck off. Coach went off for about a day, and then he was back to humble. I'm like, all right, then, I like this.
That's me. Now, if there should have been a team I should win ape shit for, it was the Rangers. You're talking about my entire lifetime. We've never seen that before. But you know what? It's like, yeah, celebrate it. I had more fun poking at my in-laws than anything.
Yeah, I don't really be caring either. I guess.
Fuck the Stros.
I cared the first one we won. I was talking shit. But after that, I just like, whatever. We went to so many. I stopped going to parades. That's how crazy it got.
Hey, how about screw the both of you?
Lifestyles of
Because
the rich and famous.
I ain't seen the Reds or the Blue Jays win shit. I wasn't even born.
Yeah. You weren't.
Yeah, Lewis, we all in the same vibe. I don't get too up. I don't get too down.
Same.
Although you were turn as fuck at that parade.
People were trying to. People been trying to troll.
You were turn as fuck at the parade, though.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be? He had some in him.
Well,
yeah, he had something in
they
him.
were winning, but they had more to do
I
too.
felt bad for Coach's knees that day.
Well, my knees were killing me, but I was a little bit more crunk because I was this close to beating somebody up at the parade. So it was some assholes out there that day.
Definitely. Yeah, people been trying to troll me all year about the Patriots. I just be laughing. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's probably a team. It's probably a team that don't even have a trophy.
And that's the thing.
Funny you should say that.
Will, that's the ironic thing is that I was the same way. I was getting freaking trolled for the Patriots. I'm like, bro, that doesn't affect me. We're supposed to suck. Have you seen this team?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
All I got to say to you guys is welcome to the club. When you have so much success for so long, when you're not winning, they revel in that shit.
The thing is, Will live through the really bad years, and then he got some really good years. Me, I walked into the good years in 2001. I literally became a fan of the Patriots in 2001. 5-year-old Jake with everything. I didn't know what a losing season was. The closest thing to a losing season we had was 10-6. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
See,
I'm like, where's the 12 wins?
That's why when the motherfucker tried to call me spoiled in that Mac Jones debate, I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. I know somebody who's definitely probably spoiled. It's you.
Spoiled. Hold up. You're taking that out of context. Spoiled as in, I've been spoiled by the wins, but spoiled by the, if it's not Tom Brady, then I don't care, because that's you.
No. Never said that he had to be Tom Brady. I said he sucked. That was it. I was right.
Well, hey, I'm on the train now, so let's not bring up the past.
What we talking about old stuff?
But exactly. Will likes bringing up 2023. It's in the past.
We were just talking about all the championships. It is the past. We were in the past.
I know. Hey, but anyway, the thing that I was talking about that was off topic or in a separate division. Depending on how the seeding falls, and I'm not trying to be I'm not even being a homer here because it's freaking in division state stuff. I think just the way it falls down and crumbles, AFC Championship's going to be Ravens and Browns. Call me crazy.
I will. I do often. I just don't think I don't want to say the Browns can't do it because they have a.
They can. They got the defense. Joe Flacco's playing like
Flacco's
a mofo.
looking decent. Yeah.
It's okay. How many games Flacco played? Three games, right?
5, right?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6.
Okay.
For 2 or 3 of them, he looked basic as fuck, if not bum. And then a couple others he played.
Well, he had 3 interceptions at one time. But again, I'm looking at it as these are the 2 best defenses in the AFC. You also got 2 offenses that don't really, except for that game where Flacco had 3 interceptions, that don't really turn over the ball. It's a full team effort. They both have injuries on the offense. They both don't have their star running backs, but they're making it work with the backups. I don't. It's just lining up to be these are the 2 best teams of the AFC right now. Crazy as it is, and they're both from the same division, so they both can't be top seeds. Again, everyone in the comments and you two, even two, can call me crazy, but I just think if it's going to be the best 2 teams of the AFC, if they don't meet in the conference championship, they'll meet up before that.
Based on what Lewis said, I want to ask a question. Do we think Bills are peaking at the perfect time? Do we think the NFC is better than the AFC? I don't, but that comment makes sense.
Absolutely not. But I still believe in my chess versus checkers debate.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I don't got time for that. So, what do you?
I'm not going to get coached on it.
On a neutral field, the AFC versus the NFC representative playing their best game possible. Who you take?
So you're telling me if this is a 49ers versus Ravens game or the best players from each
and they're playing at their complete capacity.
At complete capacity, I don't know that. At complete capacity, I don't know anybody can do anything with Lamar in terms of if he's playing his best. That means he's running and throwing. Good luck. I don't care what defense.
And if we're going by coaching here, Harbaugh is by far a better coach than Shanahan.
That's not even fucking close to true. By far? Not even.
That is 100% true.
You're crazy. That's outrageous.
Who's won a Super Bowl, Will?
What does that mean? You won one Super Bowl. That's great.
Shanahan's been to another one, that's more than Shanahan. Shanahan's got a star-studded crew. He bought a team. Good for him.
No, well, he put them together.
He's got two of the top receivers in the NFC. He went out and got McCaffrey.
No.
He's got a top three tight end.
No. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to sit there and list off the roster like he didn't make this system and these players play as good as they're playing. They were not doing this before him.
They weren't doing it until they got McCaffrey. They were still having trouble.
Yeah, they were.
They were still a good team.
They went to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G running the exact same offense.
Yeah, this is outrageous. This is an outrageous take.
It's tough for me to take between those two teams, but like Will said, Lamar completely healthy and at his best, I'm taking that team, and I hate to admit it.
I would still take Harbaugh as a pound for pound better coach, but easily that's all right. They're both really good coaches. They're both great coaches.
Hold on, wait. Did you agree with me? Just not with the wordage I said.
I think it's neck and neck. I think to pick one. I think if you're forced to split hairs, yes, if you're forced to split hairs, which I think it is, then yes, then you bring up the ring. Which if you talk about buying rings, Harbaugh won with a team that he didn't build at all.
He inherited a team.
He inherited a better team than Shanahan inherited and got a ring out of it. So no, we're not doing that.
If I'm not mistaken.
And to be fair, and since that moment, since he won with a team that wasn't his, since they've been playing with the team that he built, they've been good, haven't won anything. And have never been looked at as like, oh, that's like revolutionary or like, man, he's really doing something that no one else can do. He's a solid coach. Shanahan's doing shit that like the only other person we see doing is Miami's coach. Whereas like this crazy offense that you scheme everybody open. To be fair, we don't even really know how good Ayuk and Debo are. I really think basically stating myself. Yeah.
And you know that's the thing I was about to say is that he can. What's the word? I was trying to think of something. He can change with the times. But I was about to say that about Shanahan. But I'm like, he took Brock Purdy and turned him into that. I'm like, at first Harbaugh had Flacco, who was a pocket passer, and he was able to change that entire offense into something that Lamar could run and look really good at. I was like, all right, so you know what? They kind of both did the same thing.
But Harbaugh didn't really do that. He's not the one who changed the offense.
It wasn't his coordinator. They got rid of their coordinator, remember?
No. Oh, I thought you meant like when they originally got Lamar. Yeah, so when you said the statement of they had Flacco, then they got Lamar. When they got Lamar, it was like they went, who was the OC?
Was it Roman?
Roman, that's who it is. Greg Roman. Greg Roman is what until this year, that offense that Lamar's been running has been Greg Roman. And this year, they changed to Monken?
Yep.
And yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, was
college coach.
Was Dak's college coach, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah. Was he was it Mississippi State?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, I'd like to take this minute real quick to apologize to all you Ravens fans for all the shit I talked. Isaiah Likely saved my fantasy team. I won the chip. Thank you for that. I still hate the Ravens, but thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. My man Jake was focused on one position all year. Every time we talked about fantasy, it was always about tight ends.
It's a fun position.
It
gets overlooked.
So he picked up your guy. He told me he's like, yo, I just got a steal. He was like, I drafted Pitt. He isn't doing shit. I picked up Ferguson, and he's been balling. And as he's telling, it's funny. So you had said it before, and as he's telling me that he did that, I was like, well, let's see what's going on in my league. I have Pitt, just like he did. I had Pitts, and I didn't use him anymore. I went and got Ferguson, did the same thing he did. It worked.
See, that's the most underrated position, man.
We all got our positions we're good at and good to find. Unk's got the running backs. I'm with the tight ends.
That's hilarious. You got quiet. That's like a bit right there. That's like a bit right. That was fucking good.
Hold up. Coach has got defense because Coach helped me scout out some defenses I needed. I don't know what you and Tuke are good at, Will. You guys don't really go into positions like that.
I do receivers and corners. The positions that I played.
Fair enough.
So let me tell you that. Well, I want to go back to this chess and checkers comment.
Oh, God damn it. I thought we got away from it.
Hell no.
Yeah, you don't get to keep saying that without having to fucking deal with it.
Let's look at the playoff teams right now.
This guy is a proud NFC lover, and I respect it.
No. I'm looking at it purely from
objectives.
Ravens, agreed, number one team in the league. Got the Dolphins, who beat my Cowboys 2 weeks ago.
They're fake.
And laid the egg yesterday, and Chubb is out for the season. He tore his ACL yesterday.
And also, it's still Tua.
Tua.
Yeah. Team's okay. Not great. Defense got ran up
on. Chiefs, they're number 3 right now. We really believe in the Chiefs right now?
No one can catch them except for Rice.
Your number 4 team is Jacksonville, who I still think Houston's going to win their division next week.
I'm with that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, they're number 4. Then you got the Browns at 5. We talked about how good they are. Then you got the Bills, who are they're on the surges. They can win their division and jump up to number 2 next week. Right?
Yep.
And then you got the Colts. So those are your top 7 teams right there.
So I know what's coming here, but I can make a case. But go ahead.
Then on the other side, you got the Niners. When playing to the optimum, it's them and the Ravens, that's a knockdown slobber knock, as they say.
It all depends. 49ers, it all depends if Debo's healthy.
I can
see that.
Look at Lewis. Sorry, Lewis. He was just naming relevant teams.
Hey. Needless to say, the Colts are my favorite AFC team. Well, yeah, they're my favorite AFC team. Huh?
There you go.
From afar.
Yeah, because you got the Cowboys and it's the shoe.
I both like shitting on them. I like shitting on them for fucking with Lewis.
GM. I got some love for the GM of the Colts. That's it.
So I hate on the Colts at times just to fuck with Lewis, but I have liked him too because I don't like to root against him all the time like he does. But AR, I'm a big fan, obviously. So now I got to watch them a lot more than I already was, which was basically watching them every week and fucking getting minute-to-minute updates from that motherfucker.
That was the worst thing that could have ever happened to you was freaking Richardson going to the Colts.
I think he's about to get ready to take off and have a good run for Rookie of the Year.
It'd have been worse if he went to like the Jets, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So got the 49ers at number 1. I always say about them. Right now, you got the Cowboys at number 2. They are the schizophrenic Jekyll and Hyde team of this whole playoffs. Depends on which team shows up. And depends if they're at home or not.
Yeah.
You got the Lions, who is Will and our resident second team.
Mm-hmm.
Who I would probably say, other than the Ravens and potentially the Browns, can beat any one of those playoff teams on the AFC side. Number 4 is the Buccaneers. Buccaneers. Number 5 is the Eagles.
The Bucs are ahead of the
by
Eagles.
default. Huh?
Oh, I'm about to say how, but the Bucs are. I'm like, how are they ahead of the Eagles? But I realized because they're going to win their division and the Eagles aren't. So
win the division with either 89 or a 9-8 record.
Such a good division.
Again, weak ass division. Sending a team that doesn't have a winning record to the playoffs. Weak.
They could be 9-8.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then you got the Rams, who are playing very good ball right now at number 6. You got the Packers. But to say chess and checkers, it's a lot closer than you think it is.
Yeah.
Top heavy is kind of a wash.
Yeah, I was gonna say top heavy for the NFC, but it seems like
Dolphins and Cowboys. I think if they play in Dallas, I think Dallas can beat the Dolphins.
I feel there's more parity in the AFC.
The Lions, I think the Lions will beat the Chiefs.
They already did, but
the Jags, Though Trevor's banged up and hurt, I think the Bucks can steal one from the Jags.
Yeah.
The Browns would definitely crush the Eagles at 5-5.
Ooh,
And then
really?
the Bills
I
and
like
Rams
that.
at 6-6.
He
Kind of
glossed
a
up.
toss up there.
See, this is why like, yeah, Coach stays objective, but he does subtly be hating. You think the Browns crush the Eagles?
Absolutely.
Dude,
That's funny.
Philly is, I'm not even saying this because I don't like Philly. Philly has been playing bad football.
No,
here.
I
They're
agree. As of
They're like
recently,
31st,
Coach, haven't
32nd against the pass.
Yeah, haven't they dropped 4 in a row?
No, they lost 4 out of the last 5.
oh, that's what it is. Yeah,
Okay, I thought that's what it was. I thought it was 4 in a row.
They lost 4 games in December.
Mm.
And that's when you don't want to lose.
No, you don't.
It's not an
Like,
excuse. Go ahead.
And like I tried to tell Eagles fans, you lost Hargrove on the D line, who's probably your best lineman you had last year. He's in San Fran now. And you lost both coordinators. You can't just think you're just going to extract those systems out and plug anybody else. That's pretty arrogant to think that.
Yeah, and when you have Sirianni or freaking bipolar ass coach on the sideline who's either emotionless or too
That dude's a
fucking
tool.
angry.
He's a tool.
He is. I didn't realize how much I did not like that guy until this
That
year.
dude's
I'm like, I don't like him.
Sirianni's weird.
And
No,
Shaq
you know what,
Leonard,
Coach?
I think we
Holy
got
shit.
early with that.
Yo, I said that as fucking Lewis typed it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
talked to you way too much, Lewis. I gotta stop.
So, Coach, 2 things. One, I like how you put it up seat for seat all the way down to 7 of this team, this team, this team, next to this team. Who do you think head to head on these teams 1 through 7? I like that. But 2, you got to remember when I made this statement of chess versus checkers was 2 weeks ago when your Dallas Cowboys lost to the Miami Dolphins. And the only reason I said it then is because if you look back then, that is when the AFC teams, the top teams in the AFC and where they were sitting, everyone was healthy. The Dolphins have officially gotten a ton of injuries. Trevor Lawrence is down with the Jags. So now it looks like there's a little bit more parity to it because of injuries. So my statement, I wouldn't say it's null and void. It's just, it's a little tainted because of injuries.
Now, we're not letting that happen. No, we're not letting that happen.
No, it's a plausible reason. I still believe in it. Just when I made it 2 weeks ago, I had more of a leg to stand on.
So that's
Now,
that's my case.
So you do realize that we played Miami and Buffalo, who ran it down our throats. We were without our run stuff and nose tackle.
And you letting him get away with something here that I'm not gonna let him get away with, which is you're not gonna boil this down to 2 weeks and things change. When you say something like it's chess, not checkers, that is like a season encapsulating thing. That's like more than one season. That's like a whole like theory of the entire league.
Hold up.
Like Tion said,
No, and
like
Tion's
Tion said, you got to stand on business.
Oh, business
No,
for real.
Well, you can hold that all you want, but the thing is that I was talking about this season, and I was talking up to that point of that week. What week would that have been? 15. I talked about it all the way.
That's
from
what
this
I'm
season,
saying.
all the
If
way
it's
up from week 1 to week 15.
Bro,
But
that's
again,
what I'm trying to say. Listen. If you're saying it's chess, not checkers, that's not something that changes in 2 weeks at all for any reason.
Via injuries, that's like putting me and you going against each other in checkers. No.
That's exactly what chess is.
No, me and you are playing. No, wait, me and you were playing checkers, and then all of a sudden I can't show up to the party, and I have to have Harper play for me against you. How's that fair? That's an injury.
Hold on.
Here's why. What is chess about? Chess is about sacrifice. That's everybody who's good at chess will tell you. It's about sacrifice, which means sometimes you're down, which means you don't have.
Now you hold up. Hold up. I ain't sacrificing my daughter to play in that game. Don't do that.
What are you? What? What is happening?
No, when you make the statement of chess versus checkers, that means to me that you're saying no matter what happens, that's going to be the best outcome by the best team or the best representation, no matter what's going on.
Because in chess, you're strategic, which means you can get around situations.
Yes.
All right. So
you got to anticipate the next move of your opponent.
Let's hold on. Let's see if I fully still stand by this, Coach. Okay. So you got the top 7 teams for each division pulled up somewhere, right?
I do. Let me get it up here now.
All right. So you start at 1 and go all the way down to 7, and I'll tell you who I think would win in that matchup. and we'll see if it still
Absolutely.
stands.
Okay, y'all see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Ravens against San Fran.
I know one of these teams is playing chess.
I'm taking Ravens.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Dolphins against Cowboys.
After this recent showing, even though we already seen the Dolphins, I'm taking Cowboys in this situation.
Fair enough. Lions against Chiefs.
I'm taking Lions in this too because they've already proven that they can beat them, and the Chiefs still don't have receivers.
Browns against Eagles.
I'm taking the Browns in this one because the Eagles look completely befuzzled, and they are not looking good going into playoff form.
So that's 2-2 now. And you come down here to fours. Jags against Buccaneers.
Bucks have
It's
not,
tough because
Jags
hold
have
on,
not
wait.
looked good this year.
Trevor's hurt.
Is Trevor
Hurt.
playing, or is he hurt on like he can't play? CJ Beathard is playing.
Their queen is down. It's his chest. Their queen is down. What are you gonna do?
No, I'm asking. I need to know the injury report. Is Trevor playing, or is he not playing?
It's chess, not checkers, right? Doesn't
Okay,
matter.
if the playoffs ended today and we're 2 weeks in the future, 2 weeks in the future, and this game's going on, I'm assuming Trevor Lawrence is playing. I'm taking the Jags.
So they were out. So right now, they hope they get them back. As of 22 minutes ago, they hope to get Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk back. So both their top two offensive players are injured as of right now.
And again, if we're talking 2 weeks from now, and if it ended today like this, and we're thinking that this is playoff form and everyone is, somewhat healthy and or playing, I'm still taking Jags in that matchup.
Okay. So 3-2. AFC. Come up to the 5. We got the 6s. Rams against Bills.
Rams against Bills. So the Rams are easily one of the most scary teams when they're healthy, and they are completely healthy right now. So I am taking the Rams in a shocking pick, even though the Bills are extremely hot right now. Josh Allen does not perform well in the playoffs.
So that's 3 against 3. And the tiebreaker.
What are you talking about? Did you forget the whole Mahomes battle?
Yeah, Mahomes won.
He played well. We're not talking about who won. I'm talking about who played well. He played well.
He's pick happy. Can't trust the guy who throws 3 picks in a game. All right, what's the 7s?
Packers against the Colts.
Man's a Mac fan.
Packers against the Colts. Man, it's tough just strictly because I don't know what Packers team you're getting. They suspend players, they sit out. The Packers can show up one game and look outstanding, and then the other game they look like they don't ever belong in this league.
But it's chess, not checker. It should be an easy win, right?
And I'm 100% good. And even though it's tough to pick this, I think that the Colts have been more consistent, and I think Gardner Minshew is more battle tested. So I'm taking the Colts.
So 4-3 favorite AFC. It's close, right?
Yeah, it's not chess or checkers.
It's checker. It's not chess. It's checkers.
It's both. Yeah, it's all chess or it's all checkers, but it's not.
Hey, and Will, by the way, up yours. I did that objectively.
Allegedly.
Because the way that you threw it out there, and I saw it when you first posted it, I'm like, look at Jake with the low-key shade.
I saw that. I'm like, he's drinking. I don't want to deal with this.
Was I drinking? I thought that was a Monday. I thought that was a Monday night game. No, because I
at least you admitted that's what you was doing.
I wanted to make sure you and Took saw it. That was the thing. I'm like, Took and Coach are going to see what I'm saying.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. But you know me, I didn't respond to it. I see a lot of stuff. I don't respond to everything.
Yeah, that's fair. No, the thing is, I don't think
can't trigger me, man.
I don't think Coach has ever got on one of my posts that I made and actually had a clap back for me because it's like, man, it's just Jake. Fuck it.
Nah, it's like it's your point of view. I can't be upset about it. People entitled to their point of view. I think that's what pisses people off the most with me. They find out I'm a Cowboy fan and they do this normal Cowboy talk, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I kind of roll with it. Pisses them off even more.
Well, yeah, because
but I'm going to be objective.
Cowboy.
I'm an unbiased Cowboy fan. We shit. Yeah, I'm going to say we shit.
Yeah, because every Cowboy fan that I've ever come in contact with, except for you, has always been the "It's our year" fan, and I'm like,
those are the ones that don't even live here.
Yeah.
I've heard about those, and yeah, that would be quite fucking annoying.
Dude, I know so many people that are Cowboys fans up here strictly because it was the only game on TV and or on Thanksgiving, and they grew up and that's how they watched. It was
It's a lot
them.
of people. It's a lot of people.
You either got a ton of fucking in Cincinnati. Just so you know, you have either a ton of Cowboys fans or a ton of Green Bay fans. Everybody else
Weird.
is either a Bengals fan or a Steelers fan.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though? Yeah, a lot of them will be like, "Yeah, that's the only team I got to watch on Thanksgiving and stuff like that," and da da da. And that's not what it is. Otherwise, you'd be Lions fans.
That's true.
But you're not.
No, they're not going to pick a shitty team because
they're going to pick a team that's winning. Front runner. Cowboys fan. I'm saying.
And now they got to double down because they've rode this train all these years.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at with the Patriots. Goddamn, my dad told me, he was like, "You should have left when Brady left." I'm like, I love this team.
That's the journey of being a fan, the peak and the valleys. I remember as a kid having to listen to the Cowboy games on the radio because that shit was blacked out locally. They were giving away tickets at the grocery store. I remember the 1-15 season. I remember the dark years. I remember the end of Coach Landry's tenure. I've seen some bad football. So I'm like, yeah, all right, it's cool.
They used to throw tickets to Celtics games out of the windows for people to take.
But that's the joy and the journey of being a fan of any team, the good and the bad. So when you're down in that valley, you finally get to that mountaintop, brother.
Yeah,
I've been watching some wrestling.
Hey, mind you, remember, I shout Blue Jays and I love the Blue Jays because it's the team that I like since I was a kid. But I am homegrown. Absolutely love the Cincinnati Reds. Trust me, I know losing seasons. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the development of Ellie De La Cruz. But this is the play call sheet. We don't talk about baseball.
Absolutely. We come in Wednesday night on the Parlay Perspective.
We'll do all that.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead. We kind of went off script today, but that's what we do sometimes.
Yeah, why not?
We got some stuff to talk about.
We started off script. It's fucking 250.
I know, right? So we're gonna go ahead and discuss something. Jake mentioned earlier he think he did well this week on our picks. He did. Took went 9-7 to come in number 4. Will went 11-5 to come in number 3. And Jake, you and I tied at 12-4.
Trying to come back with a vengeance, Coach.
What game pissed me off? Oh, so y'all know I also make picks in a pool that I'm in, and every now and then I'll have a different pick from y'all that I'll have in my pool. And Dallas, I think I picked the Lions in the pool. I picked Dallas here. Well, I helped my pool. That was good.
You did.
I did it because I remember I convinced you. I talked you into
talked me
it. I
into
was like,
Dallas.
Will, you got to think about this for a minute.
It's funny. You talked me into Dallas.
I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. You talked me into Dallas on the live, and then we signed off, and I finished, I was writing them, putting them in my in the app, and you weren't there to talk me to keep the Cowboys.
I'm sorry.
I mean, keep the Lions.
It's okay. No, wait. Hey, in all fairness, I should have listened to you. You tried to talk me into Green Bay, and I didn't listen.
Yeah, that was The Eagles won.
I should have listened.
I had the 14 points on the Eagles. The highest is 15. That's terrible.
Took gambled this week. He lost. He gambled this week, going 9-7.
Yeah, I thought it was weird because he was in a good place, and then while we were doing the picks, he went left.
But he even said that getting on his live. When he was in his live, he said, "I'm gambling this week." I'm like, dude, you were in the lead or you're tied for the lead. This is not the spot to be gambling in. Yeah, this is not the spot. And I think with 3, because I was only down by 2, I'm in front of them now.
So for the year, Will is 4th at 148 and 107. But you had a great last 3 weeks. You went 11-5, 10-6, 11-5.
It's pretty good.
Took is now number 3 at 155 and 100.
He has 155. I have 148 or 149.
Yeah, 148.
I'm 7 behind. I'm gonna end in last. That's terrible.
Jake is now 156 and 99 in second place. He's gone 10-6, 12-4, and 12-4 the last 3 weeks.
Let's go.
How many wins is that again?
Say again.
How many wins do you have again?
156.
And what do
He's
you got?
1 up on 2. And I am 2 up on Jake at 158 and 97.
You got to hold on, coach. You can't let this young whippersnapper win.
Yeah, because he shot out the gates early, then he kind of chilled a little bit.
He
Fell
built back
back.
up.
Everybody, it looks like everybody struggled in week number 7, except for 2.
Oh, that was that stupid ass. We got like 4
all
or
3
5
of us
wins.
went 4 and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2
No,
went
there was
9
a-
and 4.
And then last week was my major week because it was the year that I gained, or the week I gained a ton of ground because I think I got like 5. No, not 5. I finished ahead by a lot.
You did. You went 12 and 4, and Took and I went 8 and 8.
Yeah, so I made up all my ground there.
I need one of those.
Well, you know what I think you need to do? If you want to catch back up, whatever picks we make, you said you're 7 behind, you need to make 8 opposite picks and pray they're right.
Well, no, the goal this week was basically just to go against everything that y'all picked.
Yeah. Time to go for broke because it's freaking starter sit-em week.
I
Sit the
can't
starters.
drop in the ranking. Oh, I can't. I'm 3rd now. Well, that plan was for when I was 4th. I can't drop.
Will needs to flip a coin for every game. Can't be any worse. Dang it.
Basically what it is anyway. Pew, 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 pew. 50%. Lewis, people. There's Lewis, my number 1 hater.
Hey, so I'm assuming we're making picks on Wednesday, though. We're not making picks
That's
now because
correct.
we ain't got Took.
Wednesday. Yep.
All right. I got time to prepare then.
Absolutely.
What are you, Batman?
Yes, it's my final it's my final push. I need to make sure dude, I swear to God, if this final week I go 4 and 9, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh boy.
What do we got this week? Why is it? Yeah. Browns.
What y'all got for shout outs?
Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to you brothers for doing
Hung
that.
out with us on New Year's. I appreciate that too.
Yeah, came through. It's dope.
Hey, and I told you I'd be here, and I made sure I was there. I saw that actually I got the notification that the live was happening. I'm like, oh fuck, it's 1 o'clock.
So what you're saying, if you didn't, you would have missed it. You just happened to see it.
No, I'm glad I got the update. But hey, shout out to you guys. Great New Year's Day. This was a great pick me up from yesterday. I smited the wrong thing in D&D and almost died. So this is a great pick me up. Don't drink and play D&D, people. All right.
You were smiting, man. Don't be smiting.
And one thing, I'm going to do it again. I already did it once. But shout out to Isaiah Likely. The Ravens better sit his ass because he was limping off the field at one point I saw. Sit his ass and let that man be great in the playoffs.
Shout out
I got
to
a new favorite tight end, I think.
Who now?
Likely.
Oh, Likely. Yeah, he's a beast.
Shout out to Bree, Bobby, Brady, Lewis, Chris, and Daryl. If I forgot anybody, my apologies. And yeah, y'all say one for your boy today. I will be tuned in to these college football playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Glued to my television, and then I will be heading to H-Town to pick up my grandkids tomorrow. But before that, I shall indulge in some trail burger, and I will come back well with the report.
I can't wait. you know the food thing's deep when you start living vicariously through other people.
Well, we appreciate you all very much. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We are back. This is show number 1 for the year 2024. Show number 2 will be tomorrow. Normal time, 7:30 for the chickadee chop up. So tune in. Be there, be square. None but love, y'all. Appreciate it. Hey, Will, take us out.
Almost said I forgot.
Peace,
What
love,
do
and
I say?
donuts.
Oh, all right. Anyways, peace, love, and all right. I'll go there. Peace, love, and donuts. Happy New Year's, people. Y'all have a good one. You dig? Somebody so
Find this podcast and others on STWF TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.